The air is thick with salt and secrets, clinging to you as you walk the old dock. Mist coils around decaying wooden posts, and the moon, a pale, distant eye, barely pierces the gloom. The only sounds are the creak of forgotten boats and the slow, rhythmic lapping of water against the shore. A whisper, indistinct and cold, slithers through the wind, a sound you can't quite catch but feel in your bones. Your hand, trembling slightly, brushes against the damp, warped cover of an old ledger. The ink inside is smeared, names and dates scratched out as if trying to erase a history that refuses to die. A scratching sound, faint but persistent, seems to come from the paper itself, a counterpoint to the thumping of your own heart. Suddenly you glimpse a shape in the fog, a tall, thin silhouette standing at the edge of the dock. It's there for a moment, then gone, swallowed by the mist. A sharp creak echoes behind you, and a voice, barely a breath, whispers right by your ear, "You shouldn't be here." The archival building groans as you enter, a mausoleum of dust and decay. Light struggles through grimy windows, illuminating peeling wallpaper and cluttered desks. The air is heavy with the scent of old paper and something else, something like damp earth and regret. As you settle in, the records of this forgotten town tell a chilling story. Page after page details sudden disappearances, strange fogs that roll in without warning, and a collective madness that seemed to seize the populace. The ledger pages begin to flip on their own, a faint, unseen force guiding them to entries that speak of a watcher in the fog. The whispers you heard on the dock are here too, a low, constant hum that seems to emanate from the very walls. Through the window, the fog thickens, swirling into unnatural patterns. Silhouettes form and dissolve within it, their shapes vague but undeniably human. On your desk, a single candle flickers, its flame casting long, distorted shadows that rise and dance, no longer bound to the objects that create them. Behind a loose brick in the wall, you find it a hidden journal. The frantic script within speaks of the Watcher, a being that sees, always sees. As you read, a floorboard creaks in the empty hallway outside. A shadow darts past the end of the corridor, too fast to be real, followed by an unnerving, absolute silence. You find a hand-drawn map tucked within the ledger, its familiar lines twisted into something sinister. Red circles mark locations across the town, locations the journal describes as having the thickest fog. A low hum vibrates through the room as a whisper warns, "Do not go there." But you have to know. Outside, the fog has become a living wall of grey, and from its depths come echoing cries, cut short by gusts of wind. Back in the archives, a door stands where there was only a solid wall before. It creaks open, revealing an abyss of darkness. Your flashlight beam cuts a trembling path into the void. At the far end of the new room, a shadowy figure stands, watching before it melts back into the black. As you stumble back, the ledger on your desk slams shut, and a final, chilling whisper curls around you. You can't leave. A brief respite comes with the discovery of a coded section in the journal. As you decipher the symbols, you realize the fog phenomena corresponds to specific dates, giving you a pattern, a weapon. The fog outside seems to recede, and a sliver of sunlight breaks through the oppressive cloud cover. Armed with this new knowledge, you plot your next move on the map. The candlelight flickering as a soft whisper reminds you that the danger is only waiting. You venture out, following the red circles on the map. The fog closes in again, more menacing than before. Whispers follow your every step, and in the corner of your eye, figures move in the gloom. The world itself feels wrong. Your reflection in a puddle shows something standing behind you that isn't there. You find a small, dilapidated cabin, its interior walls covered in desperate scratched messages. They are watching. Shadows in the cabin move on their own, stretching and contracting as if breathing. The whispers grow more urgent, a chorus of voices begging you to leave, or join. Back in the archives, the pieces click into place. The disappearances, the fog, the Watcher, it's all connected. But the final horrifying twist comes when you open the main ledger again. There, on a fresh page, in ink that is still somehow wet, is an entry detailing your own arrival, your name. The ambient sounds of the building fall silent, replaced by a slow, deafening heartbeat. The windows flash with reflections of figures that aren't there, their shadowed forms pressing against the glass from outside. Then, the door slams shut, plunging you into darkness. You're trapped. Panic sends you fleeing into the fog-choked streets, pursued by lurching, indistinct figures. You find refuge in an old lighthouse, its beacon casting a weak, strobing light across the spiraling interior. The shadows close in, but you hold the journal aloft, and its symbols seem to flare with an unseen energy. A figure lunges from the darkness, and you narrowly escape through a hidden passage, a shriek echoing behind you. You emerge into a clearing where the sun is shining, the fog lifting. It seems to be over, but as you catch your breath, you see your reflection in a puddle. The fog behind you is swirling, thickening once more. The shadow figures you saw before are no longer separate. They merge and flow together, rising into a single, towering entity that blocks the horizon. It doesn't move, it just watches. The final entry in the journal reveals the truth. This town doesn't exist on any known map. It is a trap, a stage, and you are its latest player. The fog rolls in again, thick and final, and the silhouette of the entity grows larger. Its distorted whisper, a promise and a curse. It begins again.